I just used this, sprayed quite a lot here, then along the seams to the bottom, reinforced these areas twice. There's some spillage, but I don't care. Again, all the seams, quite a bit of actually spillage here. Again, whatever, doesn't really matter. At the moment I have it set on 120 centimeters on my walking pole, and honestly I think this is quite good. I mean, there's the opening from the bottom is just high enough so there's a lot of air circulation, wind coming through, and it slowly, gradually sort of leans back at an angle, so that if wind comes through the back, it will be enough. I suppose I can make this a little bit shorter, closer to the ground, but that's fine. I actually bought the ground sheet, and then with the rubber that it has, I first tied it to the bathtub. So I have like two of them, right? One is from the bathtub, one is from the ground sheet, but I don't even have to put it here because it's actually tied to the bathtub. I can just cut it, but it's just another another factor to make it more stretched and more taut and everything pitched right. And to be honest, I mean, this is pitched pretty well. I mean, yeah, pretty well. It's been 45 minutes. I actually did a few layers. I did the first one, then honestly 10 minutes later I did the second one, then about maybe half an hour later I did the third one, and yeah, I mean, you can't see any of it, where before you could see the spillage. It seemed wet. Honestly, you can't see anything. This part was very wet and you could really see it. Now you can't see anything. Here I did spray quite a bit, so you can see a little bit here, but for the most part, nothing. And again, at the moment it's set to 120 centimeters, and I have to say I quite like this height. The back is very close to the ground. You can make it even closer even with that height. So again, obviously you want the wind coming from the back. These ones I did as maybe not the farthest that the guyline allows, but obviously I tried to make everything so according to the angle that it comes from. Here I didn't do the best job. I could, I suppose, set the angle a little bit to the left here, but honestly this is a mistake I think a lot of people do. You don't want too much tension on these ones. It's good to create the extra space and to keep everything tight, solid, but this is not these are not the points where you want to really put a lot of tension. So obviously you want to keep it to the main ones. So I'm just going to hang here for probably another hour just to make sure it's all dry, and that's it. I think that the tent is ready to be used. So my first thoughts are fine. It seems okay, it seems good. I'm not in love with this guyline. And the only thing that I will say is that I'm 180 centimeters, which I believe is 5'10", and I do find the tent a little bit small. And from videos and pictures I've seen, I expected it to be a little bit bigger. And I don't just mean in terms of length, and I don't just mean in terms of height. So obviously I have an airbed and a pillow like everyone else, but I mean the space that is left to the side. And obviously I can't show you that right now. I will do, I suppose, an extensive review later on after I've used it. This is just my first impressions of it. But the space to the side is not that big. I expected to be able to put my backpack and be fully comfortable with it. And you can still do it. I mean, obviously it was fine. I'll be able to do it. I only have the Exos 48. Even if I have to sort of put it on the side or whatever, you know, you do what... This is a tent that obviously you take with you when you're going backpacking many days. This is not something... It's not a perfect tent for, you know, if you're base camping. But so I'll make it work, but I just expected it to be a little bit bigger. Anyway, this is what I meant. Obviously I can lay here and there's enough space for an airbed, but how much space is left here on the side for a proper rucksack? You know, not too much. You can make it work, but not too much. The airbed is probably going to come at least until here. This is not a lot of space at all, you know. Something that I do want to say about the stuff sack that it comes with, they actually accidentally sent me two, whatever, is it's very nice, I suppose. These parts are very stiff, so it works very well. I don't particularly like the clips, but they work. But the problem is that yeah, the seams, they're not taped. So I actually tried. I poured some water in it, and then I held it together, and I sort of squashed it, this part, with my hand, and water just came through. So it's not a dry sack. It's just a stuff sack. It's not a dry bag. So it's something to consider, that you may actually need to either tape it, or because just silicone will not be enough, or just buy something else instead. What are you doing here? Go away. It's outside the mesh, but still.